Hello, ladies. Welcome back to our channel. Two brown girls here. Miss Kev on stage.
Deandra Giselle.
And we started a segment called Dear Brown Girls. It is a segment that's similar to Dear Abby, where basically you get to send in questions to us via email. Email in the description box below. You can send us questions about relationships, about, anything that's going on in your life, hair questions, makeup questions, fashion questions, kids questions, the gamut, girl. The gamut, okay? And we will do our best to provide answers to them. We did receive a question, and we're going to answer it.
Yes. So this email is saying, first, I just want to say how much I love watching the two of you. So, you know who you are. We're not saying your name just because we didn't know if you wanted us
if you wanted to remain anonymous.
You guys will get that joke if you see our other video.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We appreciate you for subscribing and watching our channel. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just a young brown girl, 22 years old, trying to make it, and I love watching your videos. My questions for you two are, how do you manage having a significant other and your career/studies? I just started my first relationship, and I'm really struggling with this. How to manage stress and getting over the feeling that you have to be perfect. Thanks so much for everything you do. Stay fierce. Thank you.
Thank you, boo.
Thank you. I'm gonna let Melissa start.
Wait, can I see the question again? Because
yes.
I want to make sure, because it's like two-part question.
It is two-part.
Okay, so the first part is how do you manage having a significant other with your career and studies?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll answer that part first, because the both of us are college educated girls.
Yeah.
Okay, educated brown girls. Shout out to you. And both of us had relationships.
In college?
In college? Okay. So
I had several.
Oh, several. Okay. We're going to go with that. So I was actually dating my now husband in college. This is good because we'll give you it's going to be two different perspectives. Okay. So the girl, from my perspective, I was in a relationship. This girl was in a relationship. But our advice we previously talked about this. Our advice from different perspectives will eventually
come together.
Yeah, they'll eventually come together. So what do I say? First and foremost, I say, like I said, I've been dating my husband since I was in high school. We dated all through college, and we eventually got married. I'm happily married. I have 2 kids. I love my husband. This is great. I say all that because what I'm about to say is, girl, you got to go to school. You do have to go to school. And don't get and I'm not saying that the guy that you're dating won't end up being your happily ever after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He absolutely could end up being your happily ever after. You guys get married, have kids, and stay married until death do you part. Yeah, you never know. But even with that said, regardless, even if that is your happily ever after, you always want to be in a position to where you do and accomplish the things that you want to do and accomplish. What you don't want to do is wind up in a relationship and you didn't fulfill the things you wanted to do.
Right.
So many times as women, we find ourselves in a position where, we give up on our dreams chasing after a man.
I think we sacrifice
Or
more.
we sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's probably a better word.
Yeah, we sacrifice because naturally, I think naturally we are, we help a lot, and we really want to see, when you're truly in love, you really want to see that person grow and achieve their dreams and goals. But it is a partnership.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing. Also, I don't know how long you guys have been together, so you might be in the honeymoon phase.
Yes.
Meaning you're a little distracted because you are hanging out. Like, instead of studying, you're with your boo.
Right.
So I want to say, hurry up and get out of that phase.
Yeah.
So that you can get focused and set strict times. So like, meaning I'm a scheduler, I'm organized, I have my day planned. But what that means is, so say you have class in the morning, maybe you have a break, you hang out with him, you do your work. Like, really set goals for yourself. And sometimes the lines may get blurred, but if you know, like, okay, around 3 o'clock I need to study and do this, then that. And I say that because you can very easily get distracted and find that your GPA and your grades are going down.
Failing because you're chasing after him. Yeah.
And, or even not even chasing, you guys may both be dragging each other down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hanging out. For me in college, I had, I
got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
The other thing I was going to say is, this might be a little bit like churchy because I grew up in church. But the other thing is, the Bible talks about being equally yoked. One thing that's really important when you're in school is finding someone whose desires and goals. So that way, like she's saying, setting a schedule. And I think back to when I was in college, actually me and Kevin did that. Like I was trying to stay a virgin until we got married. So you can't be like hanging out all times of the night. So we were trying to set a schedule. But the only way that really works is if he's on board with my plan.
Right. I agree with that for sure, but it really just depends on where you're at, because I grew up in the church, but I definitely...
Well, I'm using the abstinence as an example.
Okay, gotcha.
But in the example of studying, you got to make sure you're dating a guy who values
that values you,
school,
that values career, the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Got
because
you.
Otherwise, if you're like,
if he's partying and you're trying to study,
you're gonna want to go hang with him, and that may pull you in that direction.
Yeah.
Now your grades are gonna fall. So you want to make sure that you have someone that's like-minded, so that way the goals that you want to accomplish, he's not going to distract you, but instead he's going to help propel you toward those goals.
Absolutely. I agree with that. For me in college, I've always been really career driven, and I wasn't really trying to be serious with anyone until I had my career first. So there was like, a guy that I cared about. I kind of messed that up myself. But what ended up happening is that I really focused on my goals, because I ended up having my son my sophomore year of college. So to me, I was like, I have to finish. Like, that was it, because I'm going to be a mom. I need to have a real career. I need to, so for me, relationships were not at the top. It was not the forefront of my mind. I was about finishing school, raising my son, having fun, had a few booze and did dates, but I wasn't serious. So it really just depends on what you want. But in your scenario, I would say set strict guidelines and make sure, like Liz was saying, that you guys are evenly yoked and working towards the same goal. Because if he's trying to graduate and he has a career goal, even though the honeymoon phase is hard.
Yeah.
Because you guys are just learning each other. You guys like to hang out. Y'all like to...
And you're going to, like you just said, you're going to want to hang out.
Absolutely.
And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, we're not saying, no, I had Kevin my entire 4 years, okay? Like, my entire 4 years, I was dating Kevin. So that we're not saying that there's something wrong with that.
No.
But what we are saying is making sure
balance.
There's balance and there's proper priority.
Yes.
You can have fun, you can hang out, you can do those things, but make sure that it doesn't become so much that you lose sight of the goal. And the goal is that you're in school and you should finish.
That you're in school, that you should finish, and he should want that for you.
And he should want that for
you.
Which goes back to, we talked about this, but we're kind of circling around it, is making sure, again, being equally yoked, but making sure that you find someone, period, like dating, and eventually when you get married, you want someone who's going to support your goals and your dreams, and that should be a two-way street. Like, he should be able to support you, and you should be able to support him. If he's not supportive of you in college, or like in your dating phase, actually, like, that's a red sign.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Absolutely.
Because he's not supportive now, you're gonna get married, and
things don't change.
And things don't change. They cement and get worse, because then the thing is, I've always been like this, girl.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed.
So you definitely want to do that, but in just making sure that we answer your question, this is your first relationship, and so I'm not saying don't take it seriously, but make sure you still are prioritizing what you originally wanted. And when this relationship gets really serious, and if it is already, then you want to make sure, like we said earlier, that you are that you guys are on the same page, and you guys are working together, and you guys are getting out of college together.
Yeah.
That's the focus. That's what we're saying. As far as priorities and studies, man, your school and your career, that's it. That should come first. You're at that age in life, like, that comes first, because if that fails, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah.
That is your priority. And then he comes. And honestly, if he ain't your husband, he ain't first priority.
Right. Well, and honestly, the thing is, again, I've been in your I was dating my now husband, and still yet my priority was finishing school. Kevin, my husband, proposed to me when we were sophomores, like at the beginning of our sophomore, in college.
Wow.
And I was like, I think it was our sophomore year, maybe even freshman year, honestly. It may have been in the spring of our freshman year. Yep. And I was like, so what I don't want to do is get married and have a baby and then end up quitting school my senior year.
Oh, yeah.
So we waited and got married our junior year, so that way I would only have the end of our junior year, and we finished our senior year together.
But you didn't have Isaiah until
2 years later.
Okay.
After we graduated. But if we got like same plan, but if had I got married 2 years later, I could have been pregnant my junior year of college.
Yeah, that would have changed.
And that would have changed my life. You know what I mean? So even still, again, I'm married now. I did eventually end up marrying this guy. My number one priority was I have to put myself in a position to finish school.
But this is the thing, though. Like, I think that's important, because you said, boyfriend then, now husband. Mm-hmm. So he was on board with the plan for you to finish, and understood that's a real possibility.
Absolutely.
And let's hold off. Like, that's like speaking to exactly what we're saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that your relationship will end just because you're putting yourself. We're not saying be self-centered.
Right.
It's just your goal. We're not saying it's all about you. It's just like, look, babe, right now I need to study. Look, babe, I don't want to, do this because it affects this. Like, it's just being real with each other. So I think that's a prime example of how it can work.
Yeah.
If you put your priorities and goals first. The second part to the question is how to manage stress and getting over the feeling that you have to be perfect. Okay, so I'm smiling because I struggle now with being perfect, and not perfect look wise,
yep.
but perfect in the things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
To where it makes me stress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
It's like this. It's honey. I'm 32.
I'm 33.
So this is something that you may really have to find a balance every time.
We're 10 years your senior, quite literally. And the thing about women, we put, not only are there outside pressures, but there's pressures we just put on ourselves.
Yeah.
There's just plain and simple pressures you put on ourselves, or we put on ourselves. I want to go to work and do a fantastic job. I want to come home and cook a Martha Stewart type meal. I want my kids. Mm-hmm. I want to show up at every single game. I want to cheer them on. I want my house to be clean 24/7, and I want it all. And the fact of the matter is, you can't.
You can't, and that's honestly, like, I think as you get older, it gets a little worse. Mm-hmm. Because I was the same way. I own a salon, so my hours aren't 9 to 5. I don't work 8-hour days. I sometimes work 12 to 14 hours days, sometimes 10 days, very occasionally 8-hour day. But for me, I wanted my family to come home to a cooked meal. So I was trying to figure out, how can I work all these hours and cook? So I'll never forget this. One morning, I woke up really early and I made spaghetti.
I remember you telling me this.
And I was like, I'm going to make spaghetti, and that way, after work, we just have to warm it up. Or if we're at the salon, then I can warm it up and give it to everyone, then we'll have a home-cooked meal, right? First of all, I'm not a morning person. Not
Number one.
That's number one. So I think I woke up at maybe like 5:30 or 6. It was early. I can't remember the specific time, but it was really early. Earlier than I normally wake up. I cooked. I did everything. So it was time to eat. I'm warming everyone's food up. Give it to Scotty. Give it to Zaire. And Zaire hasn't eaten yet. Scotty eats it and he takes a bite. He was like, babe, have you tried this? I was like, no, not yet. He was like, here, try some. I tried some. I was like, oh, this is so bland. It was so nasty. And he was like, yeah, don't cook in the morning anymore. And for me, I remember talking to my mom about it. She's like, you just can't do it all. And that doesn't mean you're a bad mom.
Absolutely not.
And I'm still like, okay, so maybe I don't cook the meal, but I provide the meal. Maybe I bring it home. Maybe it's something that you just warm up from the cooked section of the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other things. So we say all that is every day it's a balance. Every day you pick and choose what's a priority. As far as being perfect, you can't be perfect.
There's no such thing.
There is no such thing.
And not only is there no such thing, I think that we all, especially as women, we have to be okay with there's no such thing.
Yep.
And I'm okay not being perfect. Like, literally, that's something we all
have to
at
do.
33. I'll be 34 in July. I don't know why I want to say January just now.
My birthday's in
Oh, maybe. Yeah. So I can't remember my birthday right now. But literally, like, and it's still something like you just said.
You're
Something
always
every
doing
single day. Like,
but don't beat yourself up.
but don't beat yourself
That's
up
the
about
thing.
it.
Don't be okay. So we already established there's no such thing as purple.
perfect.
But purple.
Because we're all over the place today. There's no such thing as purple. Help us, Jesus.
Help us. There is no such thing as being
Perfect.
perfect. We've
Period.
established that. Period. Point blank. The stress. Let's talk about managing stress. An outlet is so important.
Yes.
It's important. Actually, one of my outlets, I used to like to read, but that doesn't work. So I like to watch shows that are kind of stupid.
So do I.
That detaches me from reality.
Me too.
So like for a long time, I was watching Pretty Little Liars.
And literally, it's just mindless activity.
Yeah.
Just to take your mind off of
Whatever. Yeah. What is another outlet? Shopping.
I watch shopping. Sometimes I watch comedies. I remember after I had Isaiah, my oldest son, I found out my parents got divorced. It was like a mess. I had my hormones were all out of whack. My sister picked up and moved to Atlanta. It was just a lot going on in my life, like all at the same time. And I was stressed. Like I was having a breakdown. Like it was really bad. I should tell you guys the story one day. It was really, like I thought I was going crazy. It was really bad. And I was
you
on.
have the older sister complex.
Yeah, I do. It was. I remember, and my dad was, because my parents were going through a divorce, my dad had went to Iraq again. Like he had volunteered to go to Iraq again as a contractor. It was so bad. It was just, and I remember he was back because I had just had Isaiah, so he was coming back to like visit. And we were in the car coming back from the airport, and I just like started like shaking, like I was having a seizure. But I knew I wasn't having a seizure, but I felt like I was having a seizure, like I couldn't talk, and I was shaking. I was driving. My dad was like, pull over. So I like pulled over, and like it was really bad. I had to go see a counselor. It was bad. Like I was having like a nervous breakdown. Like literally, it was so bad. Like it was just really, really bad. And one of the things that I did during that time, talking about just like as an outlet, detaching yourself from reality and what was going on. Cat Williams had his Pimp Chronicles comedy special. I watched it like every day.
Yeah.
And just cried tears of like laughter.
Laughter
because
I was a little bit of stress.
I mean, you know, it's kind of like a combination of both. But it was just like it was just a really, I love comedy. Like I love to laugh. And it was just a really great outlet for me to detach and watch something stupid.
Mindless.
Mindless.
Yeah. I think that's just important. It could be exercising. It could really be whatever it is, whatever's good for you. But managing stress, it is important. And it's also important not to suppress your stress.
Absolutely.
Because I am the queen of suppressing. I'm very big on, emotions are signs of weakness. And if you're in a sorority or fraternity, you kind of understand what that means. And so what that meant for me is I suppress things. I could be breaking down on the inside, but to you, I'm like, hey, girl, what's going on? So with that being said, quite recently, not recently, maybe like the end of last year, there was a lot going on with just life. And I was suppressing. People would ask me, like, I remember I went to the doctor for a check. She was like, are you stressed? I was like, no. But things were happening to me. Like, I started getting like numbness in my feet. I kept having like a chest pain they were like, does it feel like an elephant sitting on your chest? And I was like, kinda. But I was so nonchalant because in my mind I was saying, I'm not depressed. Or I'm not depressed. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed. And I was stressed. Yeah. I had gotten a little like bald spot in this area. It was just like crazy stuff. I was really fatigued. It was just like, and so I'll never forget, we were in choir rehearsal and I was leading a song and I was singing and like I just, and every time I did that, it was a sharp pain in my chest. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I had to sit down for a second. My pastor was like, what's going on with you? I was like, yes, nothing. Brushing it off. What ended up happening is he was like, you need to go to the emergency room. I was like, I'm not waiting out on time for that. I got to work early in the morning. I'm going to bed. But I found that you can actually check into the emergency room on an app on your phone.
Didn't know that.
Yes, but I don't know if all hospitals have this, but the hospital in Northridge does. And what happens is you check in and you tell them your symptoms and they'll tell you like, oh, you can come in at 30 minutes or whatever. But when you put chest pains, you have to come in immediately. So I checked in, said I had chest pains, and they were like, sorry, you need to come to the emergency room ASAP. And so usually only like infants or like major things get pushed through. I mean, I signed my name in. They gave me an EKG. They did all these things immediately. And he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I mean, I just have sharp pains, but like nothing else. And they checked I had a heart attack. He was like, you're kind of young to have a heart attack. And my mom was like, don't let them tell you that. They have to check that, So all these things happened and it came down to I had a mini anxiety attack.
That's what I had.
It wasn't like drama. It wasn't like, it wasn't like that. It was just real like,
that's what it is. That's what I was having. Yeah. Panic attacks.
And it's just like a weird, sharp pain. And that scared me because, first of all, I just have to say, this nurse was telling me, maybe it was what you ate. Maybe you have gas. First of all, shut up. Like, no, it's not. I know what that is. Yeah. But I said that to say that suppressing is not the answer either. You have to find an outlet.
Listen, we're being real honest with y'all. When I was going through I thought I was going crazy. I was having panic attacks. Mine were more severe because, again, I'm not necessarily a person of, what'd you just say? Showing your emotions, sign of witness. Yeah. However, I do believe, like I have broad shoulders. I can handle it. Like I do have that like feeling like for the most part, I can handle myself. Like it's no big deal. And I was suppressing it. And I just posted this on Instagram too, that whatever your body is feeling, your mind hears. So even if you're like, I'm not stressed. Whatever your body is feeling, your mind hears. Not what you're saying out of your mouth, which is, I'm not stressed. Whatever your body, so the more your body is like, hey girl, we're stressed, and you're not resting it. You're not acknowledging it. You're not changing anything. You just keep going. And I'm trying to tell you that you're stressed. Your mind is going to be like, I'm going to shut you down until you do the right thing by your body and get it in check. And that's literally, I told you guys I went to counseling because I was like going crazy. Like I felt like I was going crazy. Like literally, I felt like I was going crazy. Thought I was having a heart attack. Like I thought I was going crazy. And the lady was like, that is your mind. Your mind, God created this body to function. Yes. And it is literally, if you don't do right, your body will stop you.
Actually, that's why you pass out.
Yes.
That's exactly why, like, people pass out because your body is like, sleep, girl.
Yeah.
That's too much. Overload.
Yep. Stop.
Rest. And so that's why you actually end up passing out a lot of times. So managing stress is really important,
It's
that
so
you have an
important.
outlet. And sometimes you may have to take things back, meaning sometimes you can't do it all. I will do a lot. Like, I will do so much, and I have to sit back and say, Deandra, what's important? Oh my God, why am I about to?
You know why? This is so, because it's so real.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, if I'm going to sum the 2 points. I'm sure we'll come up to some more, but we've said 2 really important things here about this managing stress. Number 1, acknowledge it, and then find an outlet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your body will stop you. Number 2, that was 1 and 2, girl. Number 1, acknowledge it. And number 2, find an outlet.
Yeah, find an outlet.
No. And what she just said. Number 3, learn to say no.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Learn to say no. And the thing is, I listen to Joyce Meyer on a regular basis, and there was something that she said that every day, you don't have a blueprint for the week or whatever. Mm-hmm. You may have it, but be okay with adjusting it. Because for me, I create lists, and I have all these things that I need to do. On my off day, I'm going to wake up at 6:30, start doing clothes. Then I'm going to take my son to school. Then after I take him to school, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to go to the grocery store, and then I'm going to pick up the dry cleaning. Then, it's time to pick him up. Oh, let me go get my nails done before then. Yeah. Okay, and that is my day. And when I don't get some of those things done, I feel like stressed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I didn't get to clean the bathroom.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing, like being okay with the things that you didn't get done, and just they'll get done. I was watching this girl also on Facebook. She does like these skits. She's like a comedian, but she does these skits, and one of them that she did really hit home. She was like in a bathtub, and she was drinking wine, and she had candles, and she was like, yeah, I'm sitting in my tub. There's dishes to be done. I just cooked in them kitchens a mess, but you know what? I'm gonna sit here and rest, because she's basically saying that her kids aren't gonna remember her cleaning a clean kitchen, a meal or whatever. What they're gonna remember is that their mom did it begrudgingly. That she was like, I have to do this. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And she was like, they'll remember a wholesome mom better than they will someone who
that's good.
Is so angry or upset, because I'll do that. Like, people are, Scotty may be playing the games, like, he's doing what he wants to do, and I'm cleaning, and I'm like, wow. Everybody wants to clean, or everybody wants to just do what they're doing, and I'm over here cleaning. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Then you start doing things harder, like, no one wanted to close this up, and you don't want to be that person.
You don't.
And so outlet stress, say no. And I've learned to say no to things. It's hard. And also remembering, if you're career driven, that every opportunity is not a good opportunity. So you do have to let some of those things go. And I'm learning in my relationship with God that I will really ask him, like, so what you think?
Yeah.
Should I do this or not? And the reason why I say that is because you don't know where that opportunity will lead you. So you're like, dang, if I don't do it, what does that mean? Like, that could have been, what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, knowing what is a good opportunity for you and what's not. So all of those things are about managing your stress and figuring out what works for you. We don't have a formula for that.
We don't. I do want to say one last thing. I actually want to say 2 things, because we said so much. And then, because we will keep you here all night, because this is such a good conversation, such a good topic. First thing, I read a book, and I cannot remember the author's name, but one of her quotes said, avoid the drama of overwhelm. And it hit home for me, because I have huge things I want to do when it comes to work, when it comes to my house, when it comes to my personal goals. And when I don't get those things done, or everything is there in front of me and it's just like daunting, all the things that I want to do, I get overwhelmed really quickly. Like, oh my God, how am I going to do all of these things? Oh my God. And it's very simple. Just avoid the drama. What I actually started doing is just saying, what can I do? By what time can I do it? Do that. And then plan out the rest.
Yeah.
Do that. And then, like, take it in small chunks. It's the only way that myself personally, can avoid
because
the drama
otherwise
of overwhelm.
You'll look at all of it and be like,
you'll get so overwhelmed and sit probably.
Yeah.
Like, it'll paralyze you. Being overwhelmed will paralyze you to the point of doing nothing.
Yep.
So it's like, take it in small chunks and just know what gets done, and what doesn't is okay.
Yep.
I can do it tomorrow. That is how you avoid the drama of overwhelm. And being overwhelmed leads to stress.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Being overwhelmed.
And stress can kill you. And literally.
Quite literally.
It can cause you to be sick. It causes heart problems. It's just a lot.
It's so weird what the body, like what stress does to the body. It can mirror symptoms of a heart attack.
Yes.
It can mirror symptoms of a stroke. It can, like, you will feel, listen, ask us how we know. Like,
it's so scary. And the thing is, because I didn't want to like spook my son during that time, I was real nonchalant. They were like, is there chest pains? Yeah, there's a little bit of chest pain. Like, and they're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, like I'm at a 9. You know, but it was like, and he was like, really?
Yeah, right.
I was like, I just didn't want, you know, the other thing as moms, for you moms out there, we do a lot to where we don't want to show our hurt or our pain or our stress to our children. But I'm not saying just full out go, but I do, they have to know that you're human too. So what that means is, a lot of times, like when I'm stressed, like I can get real short with my son.
Yep.
Like
my patience
is
is
that,
low.
okay, I don't want to hear that right now. Okay, go to your room. Okay, can you just give me a minute?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So what I do is, one, change the way I ask him for time. So instead of, can you just give me a minute? It's more of, okay, baby, give me 1 minute, because I don't want to discourage him from talking to me.
Right.
So it's like, it's just a balance, and everyone has to figure it out, and we will be on here for an hour talking about the different things. But number one, with managing stress, like we said, you need to find an outlet.
Yes.
You need
acknowledge the stress first.
Acknowledge the stress, find an outlet, and learn to say no.
I mean, honestly, those are really, avoid the drama of overwhelm, girl. Take it in small chunks and learn to say no. You can't do it everything, and that's okay. Don't let that overwhelm you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, acknowledge that. Hey, acknowledge those feelings. If in the moment, especially like when I'm at work, literally, I will say to myself, "Okay, Melissa, you're feeling anxious. What are you anxious about? What can you do to control that? What can you do?" Literally. And I mean this literally. These are conversations I have to have with myself, because I will just move. Like, and everybody comes to me at my job. Everybody comes to me at my job, and it's overwhelming. It will overwhelm me, and I can feel myself taking on the environment of the people around me, you know?
And every time you're remember in the cover Girl Breakfast, when they were like, when you're the question, the answer, you know, when you're the everything, it can be really overwhelming, especially for those of you guys who have like small businesses and you're the one that answers all and deals with everything. I would say that you have to plan your day and be really organized, and when someone comes to you about something that's not within that time frame, that it is okay to say, you know what, give me a minute, I'll get with you in a moment, because we're only human, we're one person, and we just can't do it all,
and it's okay.
It is okay. I just read something to Melissa about Tiffany Montgomery that said, what did it say? Said, wait, I'm going to read it, y'all. Yeah. Just really quick, and we will wrap up. We will wrap up. But it was I feel like it was so key. It was called Burnout.
Yep.
And this is from Tiffany Montgomery. She is a inspirational speaker. She does a lot. She does a lot on Periscope. I don't know if Periscope's still a thing. But yeah, it's called Invest in Rest.
Invest in rest. That's what she said.
Invest in rest. Entrepreneurs these days glorify hustling so hard that they encourage you to sleep till you're dead. That used to be my little, I'll sleep when I'm dead. But that's, when you get older, that doesn't work. She says, that's stupid and dangerous, unless, of course, you want to be dead. The right amount of sleep gives your mind and body the much needed time off to heal. Learn how to rest before not doing enough of it kills you. XO Tiffany.
That's good.
Yeah. And to me, that spoke to me because if y'all knew my day today,
she's doing a lot. And it's
I'm doing a lot.
11?
It's 11:30
at night,
and I've been up since 5:30. I went to work. I worked all day. I rushed to my son's game. I rushed to do a house call and do makeup. And then I came here to film. I got something to eat. We came here to film. We started at 7-ish and we're here still at 11:30. So, and then I'll wake up at 7 to go to church and, you know, act like I am enthused and fully rested. And you know what I mean? So you guys... We understand burnout and we understand stress, and we are saying to acknowledge it,
find an outlet, learn to say no.
And don't let the drama...
Yep, avoid the drama of being overwhelmed. Avoid the drama of being overwhelmed. And there's all of that. Take it in small chunks. You're only human. You can only do what it is you can do, and know that that's okay.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for sending in your question.
Yes, that was a really good one.
That was an awesome one. We read it like, oh, we need to talk about this. Yeah. Please be sure to send questions. The email will be in the description box below. You are more than welcome to send us questions about anything. We would love to get your questions. Also, if you want to remain unnamed, please be sure to let us know. Otherwise, we will give you a shout out and say thank you so much for following us and sending us a letter. So we thank you so much for watching this. Dear brown girls.
Dear brown girls.
Brown girls, support brown girls.
Support.
We love you guys so much. Thank you for watching our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also follow us on Instagram. I am Deandra Giselle.
And I am at Miss Kevin Stage.
Thank you so much. Bye.